Corporal Don Brown, U.S. Army. Followed by Sergeant Donald Campbell, U.S. Army. Raymond M. Harmon, U.S. Army, Korea. Korea War vet. Lieutenant Junior Grade Joseph Bill Flora, U.S. Merchant Marines. Served in the Philippines. Pacific Theater Sergeant Delight Wilson, U.S. Army. We got Elmer Swales, U.S. Navy, Korea War. And Sergeant Donald Tarnow, U.S. Marine Corps. All right, keep it going. Awesome. All right, next coming home is Corporal Francis. How do you say that name? Idawine, U.S. Army. He's artillery, you're going to have to scream loud. Corporal Wayne Ashmore, U.S. Army. Tank mechanic. And we've got Tech 4 Paul Herman, U.S. Army. So we got Fort Belvoir. We got Harold Russ Yant, U.S. Navy, Korea, Pacific Theater. Welcome home. Bosun's mate, second class. PFC Leo Hartman, U.S. Army. This gentleman helped liberate the Philippines and earned a Bronze Star. Next up, we've got Sergeant James Dinkle, U.S. Army. And Staff Sergeant Silas Banton, U.S. Army, with the Quartermaster Unit in the Philippines. All right. You'll notice some of our veterans are being escorted by these young men and women that are in the Young Marines. Airman 3rd Class Donald W. Hoopengarner, U.S. Navy. In the door now, we've got a B-24 crew out of Italy, Sergeant William Wayman. U.S. Army Air Corps. Followed by Airman 1st Class Robert Carlton, U.S. Air Force. Welcome home. PFC Mark H. Fox, U.S. Army. This young man earned a Purple Heart in Korea. Sergeant Harold Begg, U.S. Army Air Corps. Followed by Staff Sergeant Bud Davis, U.S. Air Force. Korean War Supply Sergeant. Now Gunners Mate 3rd Class Glenn Franklin, U.S. Navy. Welcome home, gentlemen. Corporal Kenneth Beck, U.S. Army. All right. Staff Sergeant James Gephardt, U.S. Army. X-ray technician at the Army Hospital in Korea. Sergeant Michael Chambers, U.S. Marine Corps. And Staff Sergeant Charles Sanders, U.S. Army. 101st Airborne Screaming Eagle. Next up, we've got PFC Edward J. O'Keefe, Marine Corps. Welcome home. Welcome home. The U.S. Army, we've got Sergeant Russell Andrews. Welcome home, sir. All right, welcome home. Now we've got Quartermaster 3rd Class Art Kernodle, U.S. Navy. All right. Another Navy sailor here. We've got Lieutenant John Wheeler. Machinist Mate 1st Class Norman Strait, U.S. Navy. Korean War USS Hector. Next up, we've got Staff Sergeant Raymond Geis, U.S. Army, Korea. Next up, we've got USS Saratoga. Driving this Sarah, Carl Bordenkecker, Pacific Theater. Welcome home, sir. Private Harold Braun, Jr., U.S. Army. And we've got another Navy sailor here, Joseph E. McCormick, U.S. Navy. World War II. Served in the Marshall Islands. Ladies and gentlemen, Private 1st Class James Johnson, U.S. Army. Welcome home. Seaman 1st Class Petro Tom, U.S. Navy. Welcome home, served in the Pacific Theater. Next up, we've got Staff Sergeant Stanley Wood, U.S. Army, Korea. This young man was a combat medic. Worked in the MASH. Next up, we've got PFC Elisha Johnson, U.S. Marine Corps. Serving at Pearl Harbor, Midway, and Guam. Hoorah! Petty Officer, 3rd Class Fred Odiette, U.S. Navy. Welcome home. And Airman, 1st Class Robert Huck, U.S. Air Force. Welcome home, sir. Welcome home. Sergeant Arnold Ferrix, welcome home, sir. Korea War, U.S. Army. Anti-aircraft. Sergeant Forrest Parsley, U.S. Marine Corps, Korea. And next coming in the door, Corporal Robert Rogers, U.S. Army, 43rd Infantry out of Germany. Welcome home. All right, our next hero coming in the door is Corporal Russ King, U.S. Army, Korea. Welcome home. I think we're embarrassing a few of these. Keep it up. Master Sergeant Eugene Smith, Air Force. Welcome home, sir. Welcome home. And Seaman Francis Wildaughter, U.S. Navy. Welcome home, sir. Helmsman. And Corporal John Navy, U.S. Army, Korea War. Welcome home, sir. Welcome home. I like the Harley jacket. All right, Seaman 3rd Class Delbert Thompson, U.S. Navy. Welcome home, sir. Signalman on the USS Caribou. Next up, we've got Roy Bud Marshall, U.S. Navy. Welcome home, sir. Welcome home, USS Toledo. Welcome home, sir. Sergeant Bob Allen, U.S. Army. Served in the Tank Battalion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know you are all waiting for another Marine to come in through these doors. We've got Sergeant J. Robert Woodman, U.S. Marine Corps. Next up, we've got Private 1st Class Frank Shara, 82nd Airborne Paratrooper, U.S. Army. Next up, we've got 1st Lieutenant Jim Sharp, U.S. Air Force. Next up, we've got Lieutenant Junior Grade William Boer, U.S. Navy. Pacific Theater. Radioman 2nd Class Howard Hole, U.S. Navy. Welcome home. Served on the USS San Marcos. Next up is a man who's never wrong. It's PFC Jim Wright, U.S. Army. Welcome home, sir. Cab Trooper. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the soldiers keep coming. Here's Corporal James E. Thrasher, U.S. Army. All right, next up we've got Seaman 2nd Class James A. Fletcher, U.S. Navy Destroyer Escort. up, I've got Sergeant Jerry Zarkman, U.S. Army. 40th Infantry Division. All right, ladies and gentlemen, next up is Private First Class Herbert Howard, U.S. Army. Next up, we've got Staff Sergeant Jim Martin, U.S. Army, served at Normandy. Next up, we've got First Lieutenant Nan Soames. That's our first female of the day who served on Anzio Beach. This young lady. This young lady is 99 years young, turns 100 in August. And Sergeant Dwayne Lawyer. Welcome home, sir, 11th Airborne in the Pacific. Next up, we've got another sailor with us today, Richard Couch, U.S. Navy. Ladies and gentlemen, Tech 5 George Yanks, U.S. Army. A couple of flights ago, we had a gentleman that kept coming back around for the kissing girls. Only one time, gentlemen, only once. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is still going. Next up is First Lieutenant William Brown, U.S. Army Air Corps. Followed by Petty Officer Fred D. Page, U.S. Navy. And we've got another sailor coming in the door here, Bob Krauscroft, U.S. Navy. Sailor in the house, James Stidham, U.S. Navy. Served as a gunner on a destroyer, earning 12 battle stars. Corporal Joseph Schlick, U.S. Army. Soldiers keep coming. Staff Sergeant Mark Porter, U.S. Army. This gentleman served as part of our occupation of Japan. Next up, we've got Chief Master Sergeant Rex Howell, U.S. Air Force. Welcome home, sir. Welcome home. Followed by Corporal Charles Johnson, U.S. Marine Corps. Welcome home, sir. Welcome home. Ladies and gentlemen, Able flight still coming in the door. Radioman First Class Jim Mercer, U.S. Navy. Serving the battleships Arkansas, South Dakota, and Iowa. Next up, we've got Quartermaster Third Class Max MacArthur, U.S. Navy. Welcome home. All right. Next up, we've got PFC Robert Johnson, U.S. Army. Ladies and gentlemen, PFC Eugene Martyr, U.S. Army. Serving combat under Bronze Star. Corporal George Chaplin, U.S. Marine Corps, Korea. Was a squad leader in the Easy Company. Next up, we've got Corporal Robert Wright, U.S. Army. Welcome home. Next up, I've got Specialist Robert Trolander, U.S. Army. Serving up Quartermaster Company. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I got another soldier for you here. Master Sergeant Elmer L. Hensley, served in the U.S. Army Air Corps. Welcome home. All right, next up is Donald Dickman, U.S. Navy. Welcome home, sir. Escorted by a young Marine and my daughter, PFC John E. Nelson, U.S. Army. This gentleman right here served in Normandy and served in the Battle of the Bulge. Coming in, James goes by Ted Ash, U.S. Navy. Special thank you to Walgreens that hooked us up with these giant photos of our wonderful servicemen and servicewomen. Next up is Robert Masbaum, U.S. Navy. Welcome home, sir. Welcome home. in, you see several of them are clutching packets, mailing envelopes next to them. One thing that we did on these flights, we did a mail call. We provided letters that most of them didn't know anything about. We reached out to friends and family, and we filled up this packet of mail for them. For anybody who has ever been in the military, gone away, been to summer camp, we all know the importance of that mail call, the letter from home. And we provided that one more time to these brave men and women. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short, excuse me, I'm not used to talking, although my soldiers would disagree. We're going to take a short, little bit of a break here. This is the end of Able flight that came in. Baker flight is still coming in, and I wanted to take a moment and explain this POW MIA table that we have down here on my side of center court. As many of you know, we've got quite a few servicemen and servicewomen who did not make it back. We've got POWs and MIAs out there. If you ever go to an American Legion or you go to a Veterans of Foreign Wars, a VFW post, you will see a table set up very similar to this. This table here in front of me represents the frailty of life itself compared to the awesome responsibilities that our country asks of its service members. The black cloth on this table illustrates the uncertainty of our comrades' fate. The white place setting symbolizes the purity of their motives when they answered the call of duty. The single red rose causes us to reflect on the lives of each of the killed and missing service members. The red ribbon around the vase symbolizes our continued determination to account for our missing. For those that don't know, we have active archaeological expeditions going on all over the world, and we are still bringing our soldiers, airmen, Marines, sailors home. Every year, we bring more of them home. The lemon slice on the small plate reminds us of the bitter fate of those that are killed, captured, or missing in a foreign land. And a pinch of salt on the plate symbolizes the family's tears as they still feel the pain of their lost loved ones. The Bible represents the strength gained through faith to sustain those lost from our country, founded as one nation under God. Finally, the inverted glass symbolizes their inability to share this evening's toast. Something that is reminded at every VFW and American Legion post. When they have a ceremony, they have a toast. And they are reminded that our lost and missing will not join us in our toast that evening. Finally, the candle represents the loved ones who still light the way home. So for those that are not aware of the POW MIA table, our military does not do anything without symbolism and usually an acronym. And I wanted to explain what this table represents for us all here today. That's where I get most of my intel from. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Senator Joe Donnelly is going to share a few words about our Veterans History Project. We want to talk about this. For those that were here earlier, I talked about this book that was on the table here. I strongly recommend, if you have a family member who is in the military, a family member who has served, even if they are a 17-year-old private fresh back from basic training, pick up a copy of this book and start filling it out. It's a guide that'll walk you through their military lives, and it will be something you can look back on very fondly and with honor. Senator Donnelly, our Veteran History Program.
The Veterans History Project is for all of our veterans, veterans who have just finished up, veterans from World War II. We don't want to lose their history. And so these are your loved ones. If you have a chance, just sit down with them and get on a DVD and get their oral history, and it will be put in the Library of Congress so that Americans 200, 300, 400 years from now will know that these men and women saved our country. And it's a chance for everybody to build on American history. So if you want to give our office a call or go online, you can get the information. But we don't want to lose anyone's history here, that 100 years from now, your great-great-grandchildren can see the amazing things that these men and women did for our country. So please, even if not to put in the Library of Congress, for your own benefit, if you have that history for your family, it can never be taken away. So anything we can do to help with that, just let us know. Thanks.
In the door.
Here comes the next group of American heroes. World War II veteran Sergeant Floyd Levitate. And here she comes, PFC Iona Thompson of the Marines. Semper Fi, Sergeant Eugene Thompson of the Marines. World War II veteran Billy Sorgius in the United States Army. Here comes Navy veteran Dick Lightfoot. Next up, a great Hoosier, Fred Long, United States Army. World War II veteran Andrew Brown Jr., United States Army. Next, William May, United States Army, Korea. Next, Matt Dillon, United States Air Force. Jack Ruder, United States Army. Jack Zinser, United States Navy. Jim Foster, Sergeant Jim, Korean veteran. Jim is a Purple Heart veteran as well. Bill Despres, United States Marine. World War II anti-aircraft. Roger Hunt, United States Army, Korea. Lyndon Swift, United States Air Force, Korea. Bob Glass, United States Navy, USS LST 208, World War II. Ray Jones, United States Navy, Korea. Here comes Jack Fisher, United States Army, Korea. Bob Waller, United States Army, Korea. Busan. Ed Kennedy, U.S. Navy, World War II, Philippines. Ron Glessner, U.S. Navy, Korea, USS The Sullivan. Norm Rexing, United States Air Force, Korea. Vernon Ernstberger, U.S. Army, Korea. He's an MP, watch out. Bob Burton, United States Army, Korea. Dale Dickerson, U.S. Air Force, Korea. Phil Wampler, U.S. Army, World War II, Infantry. Gene Weinberg, U.S. Army, World War II. Jesse Kovner, United States Army Air Corps, World War II, Berlin Airlift. Charlie Wolf, U.S. Army, World War II. Norval Sweeney, U.S. Army, Korea. Don Settle, Marine Corps, Korea. Jim Settle, U.S. Army, his brother, Korea. They're brothers, folks. Bob Paquin, United States Marine Corps, Korea. Jasper Durham, Korea, U.S. Army. Here comes Richard Ford, Korea veteran, infantryman. He's a sharpshooter, folks. Harold Seacrest, U.S. Army, Korea. Bill Sneddon, Army, Korea, back home in Indiana.
got Baker Flight that's coming in, and ladies and gentlemen down here, I know you guys are very tired. I know it's been a very long day. We are going to work to get you home as soon as possible. I know you're going to go home and sleep for about a week. What a day this has been. Ladies and gentlemen, I have said this before, but I want to say it again, how important it is. Those of you that brought children, you brought your own children, you brought your grandchildren, you brought your nieces, your nephews, you saw some kid playing at a park and grabbed him and brought him over here. That is awesome that you did that. It is so important nowadays for us to realize that our heroes don't always wear tights and capes. That's not the case. And they don't need to grow up and join the military and fight in a world war. God willing, we will never have one of those again. Oh my goodness. However, our children, our parents, our brothers, our sisters, we can all be heroes by serving one another. Public service, reaching out to one another. You don't have to be in the military. However, these folks that are sitting in front of us, these folks literally stood up when the time was called, and these guys and gals literally saved the world. Thank you. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Baker Flight is almost here. Right before they come, I want to introduce you to one of the board members of the Indy Honor Flight, Mr. Dale True. Sir? Good evening. How are we doing, Indianapolis? How about these guys? Huh? Hey, lady. All right. Well, hey, I know you guys have been sitting for a little while, but I wanted to just share a little bit about part of our jobs. One of the things that we do that we don't get paid for is we kind of help these folks get set up. And we get a chance to go around and meet all these folks. I know you guys would probably, some of you like to leave because we've got only half of our veterans here. But we would really, really, really like for you all to stay so that every single veteran gets the same welcome. Every single person, we leave no man behind. Okay? So just hang with us for a few minutes, and we're going to take good care of everybody, because we've got another whole plane load of heroes coming right down the hall in a few minutes. In the meantime, let me tell you how important that is. The average age of the World War II veterans is about 92 years old. They are dying nationally at the rate of about 600 per day. So this is a passing generation of heroes, and we love them very much. As a bus captain, every one of us, there are 8 of us, and we go out and we interview every one of these guys to make sure that they're willing to do this crazy thing with us. I mean, they were here at 4:30 this morning, and they're still here tonight, and they're a lot older than us, so they're doing great. But one of the things that we do is we go out and interview folks, and we get some legal documents taken care of, and we take some photographs. Well, on this most recent flight, just to give you an idea of the frailty of life, Mr. Jordan was going to be on this flight, and unfortunately, he passed 2 weeks before the flight. So in his honor, we have brought his poster, which we took to the World War II Memorial for his family.